So, wie gesagt, was geht ab in Alabama? Ja, also wir sind am Start, Movo und ich hier. Das wird jetzt die ganze Woche übergehen, hoffen wir. Wir gucken, ob wir genug Videos rauskriegen, vielleicht auch nicht. Dann ist vielleicht Freitag schon vorbei oder Donnerstag vorbei, keine Ahnung. Aber jetzt kommen wir zu einem Punkt, was sehr lange war, da wo der Geheimniskrämer sich sehr, sehr viel Mühe gegeben hat, dass das nicht vorher rauskommt. Jetzt seht ihr APR. Und ich bin mir sehr sicher, dieses Bild von diesem Gebäude mit diesem Schild da dran, das kennen fast alle VW-Boys. Das ist so viel gesehen worden. Aber man sieht immer nur die Seite vom Gebäude. Und auf der Seite vom Gebäude steht ein anderer Name. Da steht Deinen. Jetzt denken sich die ein oder anderen Ami-Fans, ich kenne Deinen, aber es hat mit dem Video nichts zu tun. Doch, ab jetzt nämlich schon. Jetzt wird es wirklich wichtig. APR ist für mich eine der besten Entscheidungen, die ich je getroffen habe als Firma. Am Anfang war ich skeptisch und dachte mir so, ja, nicht so geil, aber es ist die verlässlichste, beste Tuning-Geschichte, die ich kenne. Von der Entwicklung her, von allem. Deswegen haben wir beide unser Erst nach Alabama bewegt. Und ich kann euch sagen, also das ist Alabama als Beispiel nochmal. Ja? Hier ist, ums Verrecken, nichts.
Wirklich nichts.
Nada. Ja, ist gar nichts. So, trotzdem sitzen die Jungs hier und die Jungs machen auch BMW-Tuning. Und wir werden, und wir haben ja schon seit 1,5 Jahren sind wir dran, wir starten jetzt in den nächsten Tagen mit dem Programm für Deinen. Das heißt Software mit Gutachten, Außenanlage mit Gutachten, Ansorgen mit Gutachten in Kombination. Das heißt, dieser ganze Vorteil für die hunderte von APR Golfs, die wir gemacht haben und TTs und alles, was es gibt, R8s, keine Ahnung, das werden wir jetzt auch anbieten für F-Modelle, für die 5er, für den 4.4er, für den G80, all das wird kommen. Und das heißt, diese Videoserie wird nicht nur, wie sich manche denken, so, ich fahre aber BMW, das ist überhaupt nicht spannend für mich. Nein, es wird für fast, okay, für die Mercedes-Jungs ist es nicht spannend, aber es wird sehr spannend für sehr viele Leute, denn das war ein riesen Kostenaufwand. Die gleiche Scheiße geht jetzt auch los mit BMW wie für die Audi-Jungs. Und Qualität brutal. Und deswegen haben wir unseren Arsch auch hier hinbewegt, um euch zu zeigen, wie gut ist die Qualität. Warum geht Cremo so ab? Warum findet ihr das so geil? Ich war selbst noch nicht hier.
In Alabama?
In Alabama. Ich würde euch sehr gerne so richtig mitgeben, wie das hier ist. Wie willst du es beschreiben, wo wir stehen, Mann?
Es ist fast so ein bisschen wie in Saarland irgendwie.
Nee, Saarland ist auf jeden Fall belebter als hier.
Findest du?
Ja.
Du warst noch nie da, du weißt es.
Ich war im Saarland. Im Saarland ist, Saarland ist kleiner.
Ja.
Digga, wir sind gerade zum Waffle House gefahren, sind wir den ganzen Planeten gefahren.
Ja, das stimmt.
Und dann steht da ein Waffle House an der Wiese.
Ja, das ist schon sehr ländlich einfach.
So, jetzt geht's hier los. So.
Hey.
Nice to see you, man.
Nice to see you. Come on in.
Let's have a look. Hi.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
So, das ist Luca. Luca kennt vielleicht die einen oder andere aus einem anderen APR-Video. Du bist aus Deutschland.
Ich bin aus Deutschland.
Extra gekommen, um halt hier einen Überblick zu bekommen. Aber wie wir jetzt hier schon sehen, sehen wir hier 2 Namen auf den Shirts. So, I will switch with the language a little bit.
Right.
Okay? But I heard your German is pretty good, right?
Oh yeah, it's great.
It's great.
It's great. It's
The
flawless.
best jokes, right?
Yeah, well, last name is Fetty. I am German technically, so. But I speak Nanolek. So,
So yeah, I told the people that APR or the whole company is really in the middle of nothing.
Yeah. This is like a college town. The people that started it went to school here and then they never left. So
Amazing.
yeah, we have people that work here from basically all over the world.
And this brand is known all over the world.
Yep.
And how come that you really stayed here?
I
I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean, I think it's very, very nice.
To be honest,
it's very nice.
It's inexpensive. The land is inexpensive.
Yeah, yeah.
The talent we can get right from the university is pretty big. I like it. I have family down here. I love the area.
So speaking about that, how much do I have to spend for a normal house here?
Well, right now it's probably not a good time. Like the market has exploded, but I would say maybe like 5 years ago,
Yeah.
about 250 would get you 300,000 or 3,000 square feet and about an acre, and that has doubled in just, I would say, the last 3 years.
So you really have. That's why the people have so big houses.
Oh yeah,
Huge houses.
Yeah, they're
And
pretty
huge
nice
lands.
down here.
Okay. So I see also you had some success.
This is from back when we raced. So we raced in Grand
Daytona.
Am and we raced in Pirelli World Challenge. Ian, who actually is probably floating around here, he actually raced in the 24 Hours Rolex. We had the R8. We did that 2 times. The second time we did it, we got 2nd place.
Nice.
But yeah, a lot of victories over the years. We did this for years. I think for like like 2008 up to about 2013, I think is when we stopped racing, when they switched over to IMSA. But it was fun. I mean, back in the day, we could actually modify the cars too.
Okay.
So it wasn't like you just buy the R8 and you race it. It's like we would take a street car, rip everything out of it, make it to their specs, and then race with our parts. So it was good.
And that was allowed at that time?
Yeah, at that time that was allowed.
At that time,
yeah.
right. Okay, so let's start, have a look. Wie ich schon gesagt habe, dieser Innenraum war immer das Foto von dem APR-Katalog und von der APR-Startseite. Und es sieht wirklich genauso aus. Das ist nicht, wie man sonst denkt, aus viel kleiner, sondern es ist wirklich so groß, wie ich auch dachte. And these cars standing here for a long time.
This one we did for SEMA in 2019, I believe. So
okay.
full body kit, it's got our full stage 3 kit on it. Basically every part that we make. We took the wheels that we sell right now and we made them super big.
Yeah, 3-piece.
I mean, they're huge. You put your phone on there, get an idea, but they are wide. The whole body kit was kind of like the race car, but this car was set up for the street essentially. So kind of like the best of both worlds. We can pop inside if you want to look inside too. It's got the two-tone seats. The back has the half roll bar, roll cage.
And the brand is from what year? When did the company start?
1997. So 1997 is when it first started. Really took off, I would say, in like the early 2000s. Probably around the time of like the 1.8T, 2.7T.
Exactly.
Like when those started taking off, that's like really when we started picking up.
Exactly. And I gotta say, I remember that time really.
Yeah.
Because it was this American brand, what you can't get in Germany, and that's it. End of story. But I knew the logo, I knew the name, I knew how it looked, but.
You've just never been down here.
No, not even down here.
Yeah.
And in Germany, it was very difficult to get in touch with it. To get closer to it.
Yeah.
I know this car from pictures.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this was 2006 SEMA car. So Volkswagen of America gave us that car to do like a competition against a couple other tuners. We did like a tuner challenge out in
I saw that you had a booth with them together in 2012?
2006.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, we've done other cars with them since then, but this was like, this kind of kicked off that era when Volkswagen was really getting involved with tuners in the United States, and they wanted to kind of like build up the brand, and it was wonderful.
Nice. Yeah, in Germany it's a little bit more difficult to get closer to VW and tuning. How come? Difficult.
I think that the Germans don't like us touching their cars.
That's very true. I mean, it's also difficult to really get on the ECUs. I mean, that's a bigger problem in your case.
Yeah. It's a big problem for the BMW side for sure.
Yeah. So BMW ECUs in the moment,
they're still pretty much completely locked for the latest gen. Outside of if you want to ship it over to Finland or Russia or whatever, there is an unlock there. But that's not really something we're going to do ever. We're still looking at doing our own unlock in-house. We can actually do it stateside and do a real flash instead of having to ship the ECU all over the world.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we have guys working on that right now, and the good thing is that
is there competition? Is there competition between?
It is a little bit. We have enough resources to do it.
I saw your look. I
know.
Why are you talking to the BMW guy, man?
Yeah, I like the APR brand the most. I mean, Nathan may like Dynan, but
that's what I know. Yeah, no, there's definitely a healthy competition. Yeah. I mean, now the rumors with like the M5 getting a wagon. Next year, it'd be fun to have the RS6 and the M5 wagon together in one house doing dyno duels. It'll be fun.
A lot of dyno stuff sounds really good. I will say that.
Power-wise, driving-wise, what BMW does in the moment,
it's pretty good.
I like it. No, don't get me wrong, man. Your hand was like.
I know.
Leave.
Yes, leave.
No, but they're really doing great stuff.
Oh, they are.
Ich fühle, das wird ein schwieriges Video, ne? Weil so BMW und Audi die ganze Zeit hin und her. But you engineering everything in-house.
Yes, as much as we possibly can do in-house, we do it. Nice. And then the other thing that people don't know is that we own like, 60 or 70 other brands. So like
60?
60, so 60. We have a big electronics company out in Utah and down in Florida that we own. We own AEM. We have like a forged wheel company.
But
all these different things.
Let's put it this way. With you don't mean APR. You mean the mother company.
No, the company that owns us owns all of that stuff.
Exactly.
So it's good because we have these extra resources if we need them.
Exactly. And the mother company is called
Holly.
Exactly. I knew that. I mean Holly. Ihr kennt Holly Vergaser. Ihr kennt all diese Sachen. Das ist diese Holly is from 1940.
Like 1901 or something.
Yeah.
It's
one?
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, it's
1898
very.
or something. I mean, in their lobby, they have an
The
old
first carburetors and all these were
black
from...
carriage, basically.
Yeah, so I mean, Holly had the most history, so that's why they named all of the brands Holly, essentially.
Okay, also Holly ist wirklich so eine der ältesten amerikanischen Unternehmen, die es wirklich so gibt in Sachen Modifikation, aber auch am Anfang war es gar nicht Modifikation, sondern auch wirklich Zulieferer für den Automobilsektor in Sachen Vergasern und sowas. Und das ist die Grundmutter für all diese 60
I think
brands.
it's 60. It's probably a little bit more than that by now. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Maybe tomorrow even more.
Yeah, we'll fact check it later.
It seems like every month there's 1 or 2 companies being added, so it's consistent, constant.
I mean, it's a very special time in the moment, very, very special time. And I think this is also a good way to really try to exist in the market.
Yeah.
Also, also der Grund, das eben von meiner Seite aus zu erklären, ich glaube auch, dass es eine sehr, sehr schwierige Zeit ist für das Tuning, wie wir alle merken. Und solche Firmen wie diese Sache jetzt und auch die Stolljungs, wirklich das Geld in die Hand zu nehmen und Tuning halt für uns irgendwie noch legal zu machen, also muss ich wirklich Fahne hochhalten, ist wirklich nicht normal. Weil wenn wir mit unserer Philosophie, wie wir früher waren, einfach weitermachen würden, würde das nicht mehr klappen. Weil einfach, ja, ich habe einen Kollegen, der trägt mir das ein. Glaub mir, das wird volles Rohr in die Hose gehen. Sondern du brauchst das ist jetzt dahingestellt, ob man die wirklich braucht, aber diese verschachtelten Gutachten, die wir halt erstellen müssen, das ist ein ganz großer Kostenaufwand, der halt wirklich betrieben werden muss. Luca, wenn du es sagen willst von den Zahlen her, in Sachen BMW, den Schritt jetzt zu gehen, wie viel Kosten war das? Weil ihr habt noch nicht eine Sache verkauft.
Genau, ja. Also wir haben ja...
Und F-Modelle?
Genau, wir haben F-Modelle, wir haben eben 340i, M2 Competition und so weiter. Also wir haben ja schon irgendwie 10 oder 11 Autos jetzt aktuell im Fuhrpark.
Autos gekauft?
Autos gekauft, Teile montiert und dann halt eben die ganzen Abgaslaborsachen durchgegangen. Also da sind wir schon, ich sag jetzt mal, bald schon Anfang 6-stelligen Bereich und wir haben noch nichts gemacht.
Nee, ohne Autos.
Ohne Autos?
Ja,
ohne
Autos. Ich wollte gerade sagen,
Autos.
weil mit Autos.
Nein.
Ich wollte gerade sagen, weil
Ja.
ohne Autos, so viel Autos, 6-stelliger Bereich.
Nee. So günstig haben wir sie nicht eingekauft.
Nein.
Aber nein, ohne Autos, aber wirklich quasi rein Abgaslabor. Wir machen jetzt auch eben viel dann für die Schweiz, dass wir schon direkt parallel laufen können, Deutschland und Schweiz. Die haben wieder andere Anforderungen. Ja. Die wollen dann, dass wir nochmal ins minus 7 Grad Labor gehen. Da reicht dann 21 Grad, Typ 6 reicht dann nicht mehr. Und das sind halt alles Kosten, die wir aber eigentlich auch gerne tragen, weil wir halt eben auch sagen, entweder wir machen es halt richtig und wir möchten halt nicht Leuten irgendwie da was verkaufen, wo die dann später in Probleme kommen.
Und das war für mich am Anfang auch echt schwer zu begreifen. Das ganz am Anfang habe ich mir gedacht so, was soll das mit den Gutachten? So, weißt du? Weil wir haben alle gedacht, wir wären schlauer, weißt du? Das brauche ich so nicht. Aber irgendwann merkst du einfach, dass das echt Bock macht, dass du trotzdem umbaust. Die Autos sind trotzdem schnell und auch soundmäßig krass, aber wirklich legal. Also nicht so eingetragen und fahren und Glück haben, sondern wirklich, wirklich, wirklich. Und da muss ich wirklich sagen, super Lauf. Also ganz, ganz, ganz krass. Und jetzt auch noch BMW dabei.
Nee, also wir versuchen den Standard, den wir bei APR haben, das ist ja quasi jetzt auch Know-how, das wir uns aufgebaut haben.
Qualitätsstandard ist ja der gleiche.
Auf jeden Fall, genau. Aber ich sag mal, der Qualitätsstandard in Sachen Gutachten und unsere Prüfvorgehensweise und so weiter, das haben wir halt 1:1, konnten wir das jetzt übernehmen von APR. Und deswegen läuft es jetzt dann auch relativ schnell dann an und dann können wir da auch schon ein sehr breites Spektrum bieten.
Ja, ich habe gerade noch nicht genau gesagt, ab wann sollen wir starten, so BMW-mäßig?
September, Oktober sind wir startklar. Auch wieder vielleicht noch ein cooler Faktor, das Flash-Programm, was ja APR nutzt, ist ja DPP. Und dadurch, dass Deinen und APR so gut verwurzelt sind, ist es für uns quasi nur ein Klick und dann kann BMW. Theoretisch jeder Händler Deinen, also auch BMW, flashen.
Digga, ciao. Oder?
Ja.
Mega geil.
Mega. Also wir müssen da nichts neu aufbauen.
Okay.
Gar nichts. Können wir gerade loslegen.
Okay. So I would say let's have a look to where the engineers do their magic.
All right.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
We can take right into engineering here. So this is actually split up between our guys that work on hardware and on calibration and on reverse engineering.
That's a 2.7 manifold.
Yeah. How cool is this? So this was actually, we've owned a 3D printer for that was probably about 2000 when we got that one.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So super old. And think about the 3D printers that you have now.
Because wir fangen ja auch am 3D-Drucker, aber 2000?
Yeah.
That was early.
Yeah. So that stuff was like totally different too. So right now you have like a printer that kind of like spits out plastic.
And the quality is very good.
Yeah, and this thing used a big vat of goop and it would shoot a laser into it.
No way.
Yeah, so it would like harden it and it could make all these really like very high quality things that we could actually make castings off of. Some of the stuff we could test on the cars. There's another one too, but we got rid of that one and moved to some of the other machines that are a lot faster.
Okay.
That thing was getting
So how many engineers work here? Do they?
I mean, I would say there's probably about 30 here right now in this building, but we also have all those other resources in other buildings. I think in total across all the brands around 2,000 employees. But
engineers.
Here, not engineers, no. But in
Site
this
thousands.
building here, I would say, how many people we have? About 100 people, and about 30 of them are engineers.
Yeah, about that, yeah.
Und das zu dem Thema, warum die Qualität oder warum die Teile wirklich so genau ingeniert sind und halt auch so schön in der Fertigung sind. Ne? Ich meine, das wirklich nie irgendwie fronten so gegen andere, aber es ist halt wirklich ein anderer Schritt und deswegen haben wir unseren Arsch auch hinbewegt. But that's the part I was waiting for a long, long time.
Yeah, pick it up.
Okay, das ist die Ansaugung für den RS6.
Yep. So we have the bigger inlets.
They make a big difference, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like 40, 50 horsepower on just stage one, and if you start getting into like a bigger car, yeah, it picks up a lot more because we've made this significantly larger. We've adapter rings in here so we can put on bigger turbos. This is like 51% larger than stock. We have the air filter in there as well, and it picks up a ton of horsepower.
So how much power do you see in the RS6? I don't know if we're gonna make a... No, I mean if we're gonna make it with TUV.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It will. TUV. Yeah.
No. I mean the bigger turbos.
If we do make them, I'm sure we would get it tested.
That's a very good answer. Thank you very much. It starts pretty good. So how much power you see?
I don't know what the end power, but we have not done turbo kit on this car yet. Just stock turbos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for sure 800.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
900, 850.
With a turbo kit?
See the BMW guy laughing, man. What are you laughing about?
Oh, nothing.
I will hand it to the BMW area. Their 4-liter is pretty stout.
The 4.4, yeah.
It's stout.
I know.
And it sounds awesome.
Animal.
Too. It's an animal.
Animal, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a stock restriction,
yeah, the stock
right?
one is pretty tiny. It has those little flow restrictors in there.
They're not really restricting. They're
just like
trying to make cleaner air.
Right.
Yeah. To get the flow nice. Wir sehen hier bei dem originalen RS6, wie der hier so kleine Richtungsdinger hat, die einfach die Luft schön führen will. Dagegen ist natürlich hier voller Durchzug angesagt. Ne? Building Tuning Stuff.
Ja, das Zeug ist noch interessant.
Oh, there's the Polo GTI.
Polo. Genau, sind wir jetzt auch eigentlich fertig. Und das wird jetzt auch, also geht jetzt in die Endproduktion. Das Teil als solches ist jetzt fertig. Gutachten haben wir schon lang. Also wird beim Polo, es passt in den Polo und A1, also diese 40 TFSI, 200 PS und die neuen 207 PS. Ja. Passt rein, genau. Darauf warten viele lange.
I'm always very straight, right? You ready for this? Why does it sometimes take so long that APR brings out the parts? Why are you laughing?
Oh, we have the same problem. I mean,
yeah.
we're all the same boat,
if it comes to software, I mean, the big thing is that like a lot of times, like people just buy a file off the internet.
I know.
And they throw it on the dyno, and then maybe they change something, and then they charge you what? How much is it? Like a couple €100, and you're out of there. It's not the same. So like we start from the beginning. So we're finding all the maps ourselves. We're figuring out how to get into the ECU ourselves, and then we do all the tuning. And then I would say sometimes like on a new platform, it'll take us 6 months because we want to learn that car. We want to make sure that whatever we're doing is not risky and we're not going to damage the car. So like every single new car that we get, and I can show you this out there, we put sensors all over it. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the information in the car is just modeled. So it thinks that it's doing something, but once you start changing everything, it might all change. So it might get too hot, it might get too much pressure, and like we need to make sure that what we're doing, you can go take the car out on the track, you can beat on it, and you're not going to burn the car down.
Ich übersetze das jetzt einfach. Und zwar die Jungs brauchen deswegen etwas länger, weil sie wirklich das Auto komplett von Anfang an lernen wollen, das Steuergerät komplett, also ein Steuergerät besteht nicht nur aus einer Map, sondern es sind ganz viele Maps, die zusammen funktionieren. Und das Ganze wollen die halt wirklich komplett verstehen, weil manchmal eine bestimmte Map Auswirkungen haben kann auf eine andere. Und die ersten Softwarestände, die rauskommen, natürlich wird da ein bisschen mehr Power rauskommen, aber du weißt halt nicht, was die Konsequenzen in der langen Sicht sind. Die Jungs machen das anders, die machen das so lange, bis auch was kaputt geht. Die wollen ja wirklich fahren, bis was um die Ohren fliegt, damit sie wirklich wissen, wo sie wirklich stehen und machen dann weiter. Setzen das ganze Auto wie in der Industrie komplett unter Sensorik, eigene Sensorik, weil viele Sensorik sich auch selbst übersetzt und dann halt auch verarscht oftmals. Ne? Also
Genau,
Werte, Zahlen entstehen ja oftmals.
Modelle.
Exakt.
Genau.
Entstehen ja manchmal aufgrund von gewissen Werten, die da entstehen. Du denkst, es sind jetzt 76 Grad.
Genau.
Dabei sind es aber gar keine 76 Grad. Das heißt, die Jungs bauen wirklich alles auseinander und bauen die Sensorik von A bis Z rein.
Genau. Und jetzt sind natürlich wieder viele neue Motoren, oder? EA888 Evolution 4, also alles, was Golf 8, S3, 8Y ist und sowas. Und da fangen wir halt wieder von Null an. Und deswegen dauert es so für diesen ersten Schwall, wenn da wieder ein neuer Motor kam, das dauert halt leider seine Zeit. Ja. Aber wenn es dann eben halt da ist,
auch so.
Dann steht es halt. Ja.
Und aber dann müsst ihr ja auch noch TÜV und alles machen, oder? Das kommt ja auch noch oben drauf an Zeit, ne?
Richtig.
Wenn der Pfeilstand da ist, dann kannst du erst im Abgaslabor gehen.
Ja. Und da sind die Amis ja dann schon fertig, die können ja schon damit fahren.
Die können dann schon fahren. Nee, also ich merke gerade selbst, das könnte für den einen oder anderen werbelastig rüberkommen, aber das ist ja auch mein Grundgeschäft. Ne? Also ich zeige wirklich was, wofür ich stehe und was auch ja was ist, wovon wir ja auch zum Teil auch leben. Ne? Das ist ja auch was wir wirklich verkaufen. Und ich finde, ganz kurz wollte ich nur sagen, das Recht muss uns ja auch zustehen. Weil meistens bieten wir den Videos einfach immer nur so einen Unterhaltungswert. Fahren wir zu jemandem hin und tschüss. Aber ich bin auch happy hier zu sein, weil wir verkaufen ja auch wirklich viel. Ne? Also
ja.
Und das ist ja auch ein Teil von dem Ganzen. Ne?
Genau.
So I see an exhaust housing for the 2.5.
No, this is the B9 S4. So this is like a prototype that we did for our turbo kit that's coming up. And so that platform will also have a drop-in turbo. We actually have it on the dyno right now.
And how much power?
I don't know, it's like 600, something like that. So it depends on the fuel, but it should be good. And it's with the stock exhaust too. So
how do you feel about that we have to do so much shit after you finish your work?
Oh, is that really true? We got to do it here too. All the emission stuff has come to the United States. I mean, it really.
But it sounds so cute when you say it comes.
No,
that's cute. That's very cute. So it comes here too now. Oh,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's a big deal in the United States now. I mean, everything that we did before, like all the tuning in the past, like anybody could make any product and put it out there, and it was just fine. But you know, our EPA and our government agencies said like, no. So now every single thing that we do, we have to test it. So just like Luca's doing everything.
Intake.
So if I make a pipe, if I make a freaking pipe, a hose that goes from the intake to the turbo, I have to test it and make sure it doesn't change the emissions. It's too much work.
It's so cute how you say that because
you guys have been doing that for
right? That's our life.
Yeah, on the dyno side, we've been doing it since mid-90s pretty much at this point. Because I mean, we were in California for a long time, which had the stricter emissions, so we've been doing the emissions thing a little bit longer. I mean, it's a little more stout now, that's for sure. But I mean, we've done that emissions line for 20 plus years now.
So we're standing here right now, Alabama.
Yep.
A cop stops you in Alabama. He's into that stuff?
Oh my gosh. If they pull us over, they're just like, man, what you got underneath the hood?
Yeah. that's what I thought.
Yeah, they want to know it. They want to know it. So
because the same in Florida, and all these cops are different.
Different.
I know in California, it's different again.
Yeah, maybe not.
It depends on where in California. I mean, California has very different locales. I mean, if you're in like the big cities, yes, they can be kind of a pain. But if you're in Central Valley or something, that might as well be the Wild West and ranch land and everything else. So I mean, that's more like here. So just depends.
I could not imagine if you have a loud exhaust that he would say, "Well, that's too loud."
No.
No.
Oh, I've never heard of that. No.
It feels like
you're going too fast.
You can drive a jet down the road.
Yes.
It feels like it. No, really, it feels like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little different here.
So we're gonna move here then.
Yeah, it's a great place to live.
Okay. Hi.
We got some more engineers here. These guys make intakes, exhaust systems.
See you guys.
We got some cool parts for the 992 coming up here that Rocco's designed. So we've got intake and inlet. So that'll fit the Carrera, and will it also fit the turbo?
Except for the cars, so Carrera to Turbo S.
So there's obviously going to be two of them, one for each side. We have the filter for them. Yeah, Rocco's been making a bunch of different parts for that car. He's got an exhaust system. He has intercoolers, the inlets, and the intake. So pretty excited for that platform. And that car is an absolute beast.
Yeah, the potential is huge in that car.
Yeah, May back here has been working on a bunch of different parts for the MQB Evo cars. So you got the new intake. There's the cover for it.
But for example, you also working on BMW at the same time. Then it can happen.
Yeah, on some of the stuff, but he mainly.
You look at him. Yeah. I'm allowed to say that? No. What is BMW?
Mainly work on.
Mainly work on APR side.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's a project where like there's a gap and I have some time, so I can work on.
You can jump in.
Jump in.
Okay. This looks like exhaust.
Yeah, Clayton here, is that the, that's the Golf R system, right, for the Mark 8? Let me give you a little peek here. So that's actually the tooling for it.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So we design all that stuff. We can 3D print out all the different tooling.
In-house.
Yeah, so we can show you the tool, or the printers and everything, and I'll show you some of the pegboards later on. It's pretty cool.
Are you making everything on the same board?
Yeah, so center section, tips,
Nice.
full muffler assembly, everything.
At the same time, okay. Nice.
Yeah, he just got some new fancy sound equipment too, so he's all excited about that. That lets us basically put it on the car, go down the street and figure out what the drone frequencies are, and then we can specifically target what we want to keep and what we want to take out of the exhaust net.
That's a good point, because the installation of the car got so good that some drone frequency are not bad.
No, and
because back in the days,
that's exactly what we found. Yeah,
exactly.
Sometimes it's just like, if you get rid of all of it, it's too quiet. You can't hear anything in the car.
Exactly.
So we have to
Let me explain that
quick.
quick. Das ist wirklich ein interessanter Punkt. Die Abgasanlagenindustrie oder die Entwicklung von Abgasanlagen, was wir ja bei 5-Star früher sehr viel gemacht haben, sehr viele Abgasanlagen umgebaut. Bei einem älteren Auto war eine Dröhnfrequenz im Auspuff unheimlich störend. Aber Dröhnfrequenzen können heutzutage gar nicht so negativ sein, weil die Autos sind so gut isoliert, dass du eine gewisse Dröhnfrequenz und eine gewisse Schwingung aufbauen willst, weil sie sich unheimlich gut in dem Wagenkörper umtransportiert. Und du nur so sogar wirklich ein Fahrgefühl bekommst, wie ein Subwoofer. Ein Subwoofer, der irgendwo in der Wohnung steht, irgendwo an der Kante, der eine gewisse Schwingung aufbaut, der dann in deinen Arsch reingeht und dann, also der geht nicht rein.
Ja,
Dann hast du eine gewisse Schwingung und dadurch transportiert sich ein Sportgefühl. Weil die Autos, du kriegst ein reines Soundgeräusch, wie in so einem Golf 3 Auspuff. Wenn Fensterscheibe zu, also wenn Fenster zu oder Fenster drauf ist, war es eigentlich komplett egal, weil einfach der Sound da war. Das geht heute nicht mehr, weil die Autos sind dicht. Ja.
Cool.
Cool.
Nathan, you want
Hello.
to take over what we're doing here?
This is Brian. Brian's probably one of our main dyno engineers.
Brian. Nice to meet you, Brian.
Focus on a little bit of everything. I mean, currently on the screen you're seeing the M3, M4 intake and strut race.
Nice.
That's you're the first people who have ever seen it actually outside this building. Just as an example, I mean, this is
for the M3?
This is for the M3 and 4, the G8X. So this is the...
That fits in my suitcase.
No,
I can make it.
If you got a big one, yeah.
No, I make it fit. I make it fit.
So instead of having the two separate pipes, we have one center plenum that then connects to basically these hoses.
And flow-wise, this is okay here?
Yeah.
So it comes in front,
Flow-wise,
the strut bars go through here.
Yes.
Here's a
And
better picture.
ganz kurz, Mo, ist das nicht cool? Dass wir einfach mitten im Video von APR, zack, das BMW. Ha! Habt ihr nicht gedacht, ne?
So, but this would be we're actually the other side there.
Yeah.
But filter in there, you got little air holes for mixture flow, but sound more than anything else because sound is good.
Sound is good, right?
Sound is good.
That's new.
That's what everybody wants for the intake, so.
That's true. Because you gotta say the stock intake on Audi and BMW, they are great.
They are.
They are very, very, very good. The only thing you can add on is a little power and sound.
A little bit of power when
Or
you
the best thing is you don't lose power.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the stock intakes and all the BMWs they flow way more than they need to. They really do. So you're adding a little bit for when you're tuning it to a higher level, so you can get a little extra power out of it. But it's more about throttle response, arguably, but engine responsiveness is probably your biggest gain from the intake.
Okay.
And sound.
You can flow the inlet tubes a little better in your design.
Yeah, a little.
But ultimately, you're going through the same diameter turbo.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, so that's where it's hard to gain too much more power.
Absolutely. And the ECU tries to work against it, on top of it.
Absolutely.
We
We find a
tries
lot
to.
of like our first dyno pools, probably because of overshoot and everything.
Yeah.
You know, show good numbers, but after 2 or 3, it fixes itself back to stock.
It repairs the mistake that you did for the ECU. Yeah, I know.
It's painful. It's painful to see glory pulls.
That's why I need good tuning.
That's true.
So you can take advantage of all that.
Ja, die Jungs reden gerade drüber, dass wenn man wirklich die ersten Ansaugkits auf ganz moderne Autos draufbaut, dass du Überschwinger siehst, weil das Steuergerät noch nicht appliziert hat auf die neuen Werte. Du denkst dir so, boah, mein Ansaugkit, 30 PS. Die meisten schreiben die Nummer dann auch in den Katalog rein. Diese 30 PS hast du auch auf deinem Steuergerät, die ersten 3 Mal Gas geben. Und dann sagt das Steuergerät halt, die Luftmasse ist viel zu hoch. Wir müssen das fixen. Und über Lambda, über all das fängt er dann an, die ganzen Sachen wieder wegzuregeln. Deswegen muss das Steuergerät perfekt sitzen in Verbindung mit deiner Ansaugung. You know what I feel? It will be difficult to let that go out of my hand.
Coming soon.
very safe.
I repeat I repeat. It's difficult to let this out of my hand right now.
Well, if you're going to want to see it on the car later, so.
That makes me let it go, yeah. That makes me let it go.
Hopefully you'll see this at some point in the next 2 days, but this is the front section for the X5m Intake, which is probably probably my favorite intake of all of them.
Sound-wise?
Just pure looks. I mean, yes, there is sound, but the looks by themselves are what really sell.
Isn't it amazing how we man work? There's the hood, and very often we don't open this hood, but to know that the intake looks like this makes us feel more like a man.
Oh yeah.
And I know many human beings, especially females, don't get that point.
Right.
And how much money we spent on these parts?
No one needs to know that.
No, I know. We all lie about it.
Oh yeah.
So how much was it? I got a very good deal on this.
Yeah, exactly.
I got a very good deal on it. So I had to buy it. Good girlfriend say, "Good for you, baby."
Yeah, good job.
And then you turn around and just leave the room, and you go, "That was close." It's very nice.
And since we're here, this is the prototype for one of the engine cover for the same car.
So it will not fit anymore, the original one, because it looks very much like the original one.
The original one is off-centered. You don't have this right side, so it's not.
This is the original.
Yeah, the original one is that. You're missing that half side, so it just looks off.
Yeah, and you see the plastic
Yeah,
water
so we're
cooler,
basically extending that
intercooler.
and mating it to the intake and braces so it all flushes together. I mean, once this is all said and done, this is just going to look.
I have to say, I'm really looking forward to the Dynon products and cars, because, und auch für euch, I never drove it. I just trust on APR, because we're doing it so long and every product works so well, that I know, that, and let's be honest, the potential in the BMW is higher than in the, sorry man.
It's
No, aber das Potenzial in den BMW-Fahrzeugen ist einfach höher als in den anderen Fahrzeugen. Das muss man ganz klar sagen. Und wenn dieselbe Qualität und dieselbe Energie von Engineering daran geht, das wird geil, Leute. Geil. Sure. Okay, let's move on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
This is the mastermind that cracks into all the ECUs, as you can tell by his desk.
What the hell?
Yeah, so, I mean, as you know, it's really hard to get into these computers, so you got to have some guy that knows how to do it, and this is what Mike does. Mike's one of the main guys that
Mike
works on
speaks?
it. No, he does not.
I know, that's what I thought.
He speaks in code. I mean, we only know like binary with him, but yeah, and he's down here.
And he's
soldering
under the
pins.
table somewhere? Or he's
Yeah, he might be.
Mike works like strange hours sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes we'll come up here at 2 in the morning, get back from a car show, and he'll be up here working.
But isn't it amazing that all these guys, because we have them in German too.
Yeah.
In Germany too. They're exactly the same.
Exactly.
I don't know him, but I know him.
No, he's awesome. He's absolutely awesome. He's been with us probably, I mean, over 20 years. I mean, I would say he's been here longer than me. But yeah, he's up here doing all sorts of stuff to the ECU, basically like soldering different pins onto it, trying to find ways to get into it, get the code off, and then kind of reverse engineer it from there when it's a brand new ECU. And so he's figured out how to do that on. I mean, I can't even count, like countless platforms. He's actually been like the first guy in the world to crack into it. So
Nice.
it's pretty cool having him in the team.
Nice.
And that's what a lot of these other guys do too here. So we'll stop back later and talk to them.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they do
absolutely.
different things with like getting the files ready and doing the calibration and all that kind of stuff.
Oh.
It's BMW. We got our quality control guys back here. What's up, guys? These guys do all the QC work, so they got tons of little examples of things hanging around here.
Hi.
So all the different desks around here have a fun flair, I guess you could say.
So this is quality management?
Yeah, you guys do all the quality control. Yeah, we can go. If we go back this way,
Yeah.
we can go over to the dynos.
Hey, have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
So this is one of our dyno areas. So we have.
Oh, you have a separate dyno, just engine dyno?
Yeah. So we have an
That's
engine
fun.
dyno. Like it's a little messy. I will admit.
They're always messy.
It's always messy. But so we can actually connect right up to the engine, and we can put.
That's an old engine.
Yeah, that's the supercharged engine. We were
Yeah.
doing some stuff to see if we could get some more power out of it, and sometimes diminishing returns. Let's put it that way. But we put sensors all over the engines here, so like we can measure different pressures and sensors and temperatures and things like that. And then we have a 2-liter back there that we did a lot of work for, like the Mark 8 or Mark 7 platform. And the cool thing about that is we have this cool box over here. I can show you guys.
One second. Was ich wirklich spannend finde ist, wir waren ja zusammen schon in Videos. Ich brauche jetzt gar nicht sagen, ich war, sondern wir waren in so vielen Firmen und so vielen verschiedenen Unternehmen, und es ist echt schön zu sehen, dass das hier von den Qualitätsstandards, Superflow, von den ganzen Maschinen, von den Messtechniken, von all dem wirklich in keiner Weise irgendeinem nachsteht. Und dieses Produkt so tief bei uns in der Firma zu haben, macht mich echt happy, weil manchmal war ich bei Firmen und dachte mir so, boah, das würde ich auch gern, wie ich beschreiben soll, ich wäre auch gern so mit denen so nah, weißt du? Und das ist echt geil zu sehen, weil das ist wirklich top, top, top. Also da sagst du gar nichts. Also wir haben noch nichts gesehen. Ich habe hier 1, 2 Türen reingeguckt. Das wird, glaube ich, gleich noch ganz anders laufen.
We've got our 3D printers here.
Yeah.
So these things are usually running all the time, except for right now, of course. Yeah.
So what you printing? Hi, nice to meet you. What are you printing today then?
Today, I'm not sure. I've got to go look at the list. Things that I know we should have coming up are basically a new pedestal for us to do actually some rework with that we had problems from the manufacturing. Then we have a test fit on a Mini Cooper.
Also, Mini Cooper is also coming up for BMW then.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a lot of different marks. Between BMW, Mini, Supra, Tesla, a little bit everything.
Right, Supra is also then.
Yep. Same engine as well.
Oh,
Shot frosting.
oh, he's what are you doing?
What are you doing?
I'm dissolving all the plastic support because of the 992 intercooler ducts that we've been working on.
Yeah. So when you 3D print stuff, it prints all this like brown goop and crap in there to hold it up so it doesn't like
Yeah.
So
And then I guess that's what that does.
put it in soak tank for 8 hours or so, and then
That's
take
84 Celsius. So you like to take hot showers then?
Yeah. No, I would not want to put my hand in there.
No.
Cool.
Awesome.
It's nice to see that really everything happens in here.
Yeah, we do.
And I saw
as much as
you
we
on a
possibly
computer
can
just
do.
a few minutes ago.
Yep.
And then, because in some big companies, the computer guy sits at the computer and doesn't move.
Yeah, no.
So, but you go from the computer
Yeah, I think you
to
get
the printer.
bored. It's like you got to get up, you got to
Yeah, it
walk
seems
around,
like
you got to get
everybody's-
yourself like immersed into the stuff and
You
become
got to experience it
enthusiastic.
yourself first. You can't design it properly.
Ja, right.
Everybody's really
Ne,
involved
ist wirklich
in
so.
everything.
Weil wenn wir bei irgendwelchen großen Firmen sind, ist ganz oft, dass der Typ wirklich dann da sitzt, schickt einen los und der guckt das dann wieder. Aber hier ist es wirklich am Computer, vom Computer weg zum 3D-Drucker, sauber machen von dem Teil. And you also go to the car then?
Yeah, and we do all of our own
Also das ist ja
testing.
bei uns
with
auch
the
so.
car.
Bei uns ist es auch so in der
Let them
Firma.
enjoy the products too that they
Well,
make.
it's the same like in our company,
Yeah.
but it's nice. I think it's very important to keep that.
Yes.
To keep
You
that.
got to keep the enthusiasm alive.
Exactly.
Otherwise,
Because
you're
then
just
you
a
feel
drone.
and you see what you do.
Yeah, it's very rewarding when you get to the end of a project. You get to see it on the car and everything. It's great.
So we go this way?
Yeah, we got, I mean, this is a cool thing. This is what I was talking about earlier. So this is, they call it a Kai box. It lets us put sensors into the cylinders of the engine so we can measure knock
Benzindruck.
before it happens.
Brennraumdruck.
So
That's
basically, oh yeah, it was.
I heard of it.
But it's like, you know, a knock sensor is just listening for noise, but you don't actually know what the cylinder pressure is. So it lets us be aggressive with our tunes without being risky.
And you
Because
do that-
we can measure what actually is happening inside the cylinders.
Over the spark plug.
Yes.
Okay, I know this. Das ist echt teuer. Also das ist ein System, wo du einen Sensor anschließt und du kaufst spezielle Zündkerzen. Die Zündkerze erfüllt auch seinen Zweck, aber diese Zündkerze hat zusätzlich einen Drucksensor. Und dann können die dieses Gerät anschließen und können den Brennraumdruck und nicht nur Klingeln und Klopfen erkennen, sondern können wirklich sehen, wenn der Kolben hochfällt und die Kerze zündet, was passiert wirklich in dem System. So how much is this? I think this is very...
I don't remember it being cheap. I mean, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So,
I heard
but,
of
you
it.
know, it's things that you have to do sometimes. If you want to get ahead, like if we get a new engine that's a brand new platform, you want to learn everything about it for the first time. This is part of the reason why it takes us so freaking long to come out with anything. It's because we're putting all this stuff onto the engine dyno. We're doing everything to make sure that what we're making is aggressive, but not risky.
I mean, ultimately,
So-
this is a way to save money and keep your reputation.
Yeah, because you don't want your engines blown up.
Ja, 100%. Und das ist warum ich auch oft so, wenn ein neues Auto auf den Markt kommt und die Software ist einfach eine Woche, die ist eine Woche später draußen. Oder, komm, die ist 8 Wochen später draußen. Und die Firma hat 5 Mitarbeiter. Wie sage ich das jetzt cool? Das wird wahrscheinlich sogar funktionieren irgendwie. Aber du weißt nicht, wie lange und wie gut. Das war höflich, oder? Weil manchmal auch nicht. Wie auch? Wir sind ja keine Hellseher. Man kann auch langsam rangehen, weil wenn man auch schaut, ich weiß noch, wo die ersten Golf 7 Software-Dinger rauskamen, wo wir dachten, wo der Golf 7 GTI am Ende wäre mit der Leistung. Und jetzt fährt man auf so einem Golf 7 500 PS auf dem Serienblock. Und damals hat man gesagt, Software 50 PS, 60 PS, dann das Ende mit dem Pleuel. Oder Ende mit dem Kolben oder was ich was. Oder Kurbelwelle. Ja.
Ian just reminded me a sensor in that. One sensor, $10,000.
Yeah,
so
I know.
10,000 euros right now.
I know. Ja, ein Sensor für einen Zylinder kostet 10.000. Ohne das Gerät. So how many dynos do you have?
We have the engine dyno, this dyno, 2 Mustang dynos, and a Superfloat in this building.
In this building?
Yeah, and then more of the other buildings. So this is our Soundmaster dyno cell, and we can go inside real quick, and it's like, you hear how everything kind of changed, the sound?
Yeah.
So we can run the car in here all day, and it doesn't annoy everybody in the office. But I mean, to be honest, I like to hear the car. So
you also
we've done a couple dump tubes and burnt the floor to pieces. This room used to be white when I started. Now it's kind of a brownish.
Okay, wenn ich sowas sehe, dann weiß ich ganz genau, was hier läuft. Und zwar sind das Screamer Pipes, die unterm Auto einfach direkt rausgehen.
Mainly on this car, the RS3, when we were doing some crazy stuff.
You doing Screamer Pipes on this car?
Yeah, we were. We did it a bunch of times when we went to the track, and man, this thing, yeah,
loud.
It was loud. Let's put it that way. But yeah, this car has our, I think it has the drop-in turbo on it right now. It has everything. See all these like extra sensors that we add. So like everything yellow in there is basically something extra that we've added, so we can measure things as they're actually happening. Because like
in real.
Yeah, because sometimes like the ECU has modeled it and it says like it should be this, but it's not.
I just said that in the beginning from the video. Wie er gerade schon sagte, diese Sensorik, die sie separat anschließen, die musst du machen, weil das, was du ausliest mit VCDS oder mit anderen Systemen manchmal, davon ist viel auch richtig, aber viel ist auch errechnet. Ja, das heißt, er weiß, wenn das da ist, hat mein Steuergerät oder mein Herrchen hat mir beigebracht, dann ist der Wert der. Und daran hangelst du dich hoch. Und deswegen, das machen die Jungs nicht, sondern bauen halt wirklich überall separate Sensoren dran, um halt einfach mit dem Steuergerät ganz in echt, einfach ohne irgendwas rechnen dazwischen, einfach ganz separat einen Wert zu errechnen. Na, das ist schon mal ganz wichtig. Okay.
Yeah. So this will be cool, because once we come out with a turbo for this and a couple other modifications, it should also apply to the new RS3. So then we'll start tuning it on that car too.
That's also good.
That's good. Here's our fuel pump test stand. So
every fuel pump?
Every single fuel pump. We started doing this, I think we were the first company to come out with it in maybe 2007 with an upgraded high pressure fuel pump.
I mean, it's an easy idea how you modify.
Oh, of course, but like the tolerances have to be extremely strict. So every single pump, you run the risk of like the pump getting on your car, seizing up, and like taking out a camshaft. We put every single one on here and make sure that it flows what it's supposed to flow, and that doesn't seize up on. It'll seize up on us before it seizes up on you, hopefully. So this is mainly finished goods, so things that are ready to go out to customers. And like I said, this is only some of the stuff, because the rest of the stuff is up in Bowling Green. Things like our ignition coils, which we have so many of them, and so many wheels that are humongous, and a lot of like exhaust systems and things like that. We ship them up there, so we have some more room. But a lot of like the quick little stuff that we got here goes out every day. So
nice.
So our exhaust systems, our intercooler systems, each
in-house.
Yes, and each intercooler gets tested before it goes out. So we put hoses on the end of them, we pressure test them. Every single one. And so you think about that. A lot of the intercoolers that you can get really cheap off the internet, do you have any idea if it leaks? No, you don't. And it could. So what we do is we test every single one of them, make sure it doesn't leak, and if it does, it goes in the tank, find out where the leak is and repair it. So it's just extra quality steps.
Can I ask you, from 100 intercoolers, how many times has it happened?
I would say it's rare. I mean, on our stuff, we're really good.
That sounded very American.
Yeah. So yeah, do all the welding here. This is mainly APR intercoolers.
And I see the quality inspection is happening
he's
in the moment when we are there.
Here we are.
Making sure it's all good. Yeah, we do as much of that stuff as we can here. We also do some of that up in Century Street and Bowling Green.
Also eine der Hauptgründe, warum ich APR auch gemacht habe, war das Design des Topfes. Ja, ich finde einfach, dass der Dämpfer, der Schalldämpfer an sich so wertig aussieht. Und deswegen bin ich manchmal, weil manche ja nicht so aussehen, bin ich immer so ein bisschen so, weißt du? Aber der Sound und die Soundart, die aus den Dingern rauskommt, ist wirklich gut. Und, haben wir ja schon ein paar Mal Sebastian in der Werkstatt auch gefragt, die Passgenauigkeit ist asozial. Die Dinger passen unter die Karre. Da würde ich sogar sagen, ich kenne keinen anderen Sportauspuff, der besser passt als der in der Masse. Ja, weil die alle gleich gut passen.
Kind of gets a little messy over here because we got a lot going on.
This entire run is basically exhaust components. So
and there's also castings. So like here's a bunch of our CNC machines. When we get the castings in, like we obviously don't have a foundry here, but we machine them down. I could show you probably find one. So when it comes in, looks like that.
Yeah. Nothing in, nothing.
Yeah,
holds.
nothing on it. So we take it and we put it on the machines over there, and they machine them out. So like that'll be nice and pretty. You can go grab one. And this machine's cool because it can do 5 axes, so it can take apart and it can like rotate it all around. We can do cylinder heads on it. Yeah, so there it is after it's done.
Not exactly the same part.
No, it's a different part, but you know.
Aber was man schön sehen kann, die stellen die Rohlinge, kaufen diesen Rohling, normal gegossen, im Sandgussverfahren, denke ich mal. Ja, ist noch zu roh, die Durchmesser sind zu groß, keine Bohrung, kein gar nichts. Das Ganze nachbearbeitet, hier ist runtergearbeitet, Gewinde rein, die Anschlüsse sind reingefräst, die Übergänge sind schön, Übergänge sind sauber. Und siehst du hier, wo nachher verschweißt wird, ne, weil es wird ja so nachher rumgeschweißt, das Netz ist immer hier ein bisschen frei gemacht. Im Vergleich zu hier, das wird sich nicht so gut schweißen lassen. Ja. Nice.
This is a lathe, so it takes bar stock and it just pushes it in. It's got the tooling and it can make like, you know, like the little cool little things like that.
I thought you ordered this from somebody else.
I mean, some of the stuff you probably could, but some of it we just make ourselves. We try to do as much in-house as we can that makes sense. We can go over to one of the workshops. We have 2 workshops, so we can show you.
I see BMW exhaust getting.
Yeah, this little area right here is just a bunch of BMW exhaust fixtures. This is probably, I don't know, 30% of them. I mean, we've been doing exhaust since 89-ish, so.
Okay.
That's right. Dynan's been around much longer than APR.
Yeah.
Much longer, right?
Yeah. Started in 1979, so long time.
1979.
So,
ich bin 80 geboren, ich bin alt.
Nothing too crazy going on over here. We just got some like turbo assembly room.
Also in-house.
Yeah, we put them together here. We pressure test all of them. Like we'll test the wastegate and make sure that it's set to the right settings.
It's important.
Yeah.
It smells good.
Yeah. Over here.
Das ist wirklich gut.
Das stimmt wirklich, ja. Ich habe echt ein ganz gutes Orientierungsgefühl, ne? Aber wir gehen hier echt eine Runde.
Echt lost, ne?
Wir sind noch nicht einmal aus dem Gebäude rausgegangen, ne? Also wir gehen die ganze Zeit weiter.
This is you know, office space. We got this is our little like lunch room. So we've got
no way.
We have Xbox.
Table tennis?
Oh yeah. Yeah, the guys play it all the time. That's why it takes so long to get anything. Here, blasting ping pongs. Here, let's go this way. This goes to this is just like more office space and
coole Firma. Oder Movo?
Ja.
Ist doch perfekt für uns.
Also doch noch eine
Wir gehen immer noch weiter nach links. Okay.
So this is more of like our fabrication workshop. We're working on an exhaust for this Tesla here right now. It's almost finished. And yeah, these are the guys that basically are making all the mufflers. They take the mufflers apart. They figure out like what they want to put into them. They've started using a lot of sound equipment so we can figure out like the drone frequencies and all that we were talking about.
How you do that?
The sound equipment? Yeah. I'd have to get one of the guys that knows how to do it. So these are the pegboards I think that we saw earlier in that at the guy's desk. We were showing
right.
So yeah, they put it all on here. They map out how they're going to make it, and then we actually make the jigs. This is what the jig looks like when it's done.
Yeah.
So
no, we're always very amazed how good they fit. When we put it on, we sold hundreds, thousands, a lot of them.
Yeah, they got to fit, or else
exactly. And our mechanics, they really all say, you know what? The stuff always sits in place.
It's good.
Wir gehen immer noch weiter links.
Yeah, you know, there's prototype pieces everywhere, so that's
this would be RS6 here,
yeah,
right?
you got it. So like the final version will probably be cast, but you know, you can't cast and cast and cast. So like we'll do as much as we can on the computer, and then we'd like to put the real thing to the test and make sure that it works.
You see a lot of potential in the intercooler for it?
Yes, definitely. RS6 needs a special intercooler core. Can't be too thick and it can't be too high, and we also have to make some ducting to get the air to actually pressurize through the system.
So I guess when you say thick, it's a Porsche problem.
Well, yeah, I mean we've tried big boys, and I mean, there's some bigger ones back there. If you go too thick,
air takes too long.
The air can't get through it.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, that's part of the engineering. Because it's like, what's the first thing you think? It's like, well, just make it bigger.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Das ist ein ganz interessanter Punkt, hier können wir es ganz gut sehen, wie sie verschiedene Stufen vom RS6 Ladeluftkühler getestet haben. Da ist ja auch Version 3 draufstehen, weil man denkt sich erstmal einen dickeren Ladeluftkühler machen. Und das habe ich sehr gut mitbekommen bei Porsche 997 Turbo, 991 Turbo, wie die Ladeluftkühler einfach gesagt haben, pass auf, wir machen die ganz, ganz fett. Und bei einem Porsche muss die Luft ja übers Seitenteil auf den Ladeluftkühler drauf. Und die Luft kann nicht rechts und links weg, die muss durch. Doch wenn das Netz zu tief ist, dann staut die heiße Luft hier vor, erwärmt sich und der Kühlungseffekt wird immer schlechter, weil du warme Luft durchführst. Die Luft braucht zu lange durchzuführen und deine Effizienzkurve obenrum wird unheimlich schlecht. Das willst du nicht. So you make it a little smaller.
Make it smaller, make it bigger, make it wider, make it taller. Then you have to change the fin density here and inside of it. I mean, there's so many things that go into it. I mean, we do a lot of it on the computer first, but computer's not always right. Yeah.
Scott, how many iterations RS6 have there been?
I know at least 5.
Yeah. I mean, it's been quite a few.
At least 5. I want to say the true number is 6.
6 Versionen vom RS6 Ladeluftkühler. Und da kann ich mir auch wirklich vorstellen, dass du da sehr schnell Scheiße baust. Ne? Und verkaufst es deinem Kunden und sagst, ja Mann, Digga, der ist, guck mal wie groß der ist. It gotta be good. Und das ist es dann nämlich nicht. Okay, let's go this way.
Alright, so this is our overflow garage, but what's cool in here is this is the emissions dyno room.
Okay. Oh, that's the wrong engine over there.
No, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
This is where we do all the emissions testing. So this room has air conditioning. It's deceiving. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, we have the 4-cylinder and the 6-cylinder here. This was the 4-cylinder. I still think it's cool.
No,
I think the license plate is perfect for the car.
Yes. Yeah, this is all the emissions equipment. So we have to lower the temperature in this room to a specific point. I think it's like 70, somewhere around there, in Fahrenheit. Then we have these things that attach to the exhaust, and I'm sure that you guys have seen all this. It's very similar to Germany, except for we're measuring different things. So,
but how many tuners would you say in America, not in Germany, in America do the same thing?
Zero.
So
this whole setup, this whole setup here was millions of dollars, I'm pretty sure. And on top of it, we had to get an employee that knew how to do it and what they're doing. But
this isn't the only one within the company either. We have five of these cells throughout all different locations.
The industry is changing, and we're going to make sure that we're compliant. We've seen this happen to other tuners. We're like,
I saw it.
People see like, I like this small tuner. It's just one guy. He's just working on my car, and then he gets hit by the EPA, and now, oh no, now you can't work on the car anymore, and now you don't have any support for your tuning, and now you got to go back to a bigger guy anyway. It's an interesting time, so we're just making sure that we're ahead of all of it.
Wir freuen uns auch.
And then obviously it helps for Germany.
Ja, genau.
Because since every single thing that you sell has to have that certificate, we want to make sure that whatever we've tuned before we start doing anything over there is going to be close at least.
Also ich glaube, für euch, die gerade zugucken, ne, dass das, glaube ich, ein gutes Gefühl ist. Und auch, glaube ich, wirklich geil zu sehen ist, weil es einer der wenigen, einzigen Tuner wirklich ist, und jetzt auch für BMW, der dir diese Qualität so bietet. Du musst sie ja nicht nehmen.
Ja, auch für die, die es schon haben. Ne, die freuen sich.
Genau, oder die es schon haben. Du musst es ja nicht machen. Das ist ja, ich will auch gar keinen irgendwie überreden. Aber wenn du auf sowas stehst und irgendwie das doch willst, plus die Autos sind ja auch schnell. Das ist ja der Punkt. Die sind ja schnell. Es ist ja nicht so, dass man sagt, ja, aber es ist ja schon deutlich langsamer als was anderes. Nee, ist es ja nicht. Also ich bin super happy. Ich bin, ganz ehrlich, Luca, ich bin noch mehr happy als vorher mit der Entscheidung.
Das war ja die Hoffnung von uns, dass wir gesagt haben, hey, du musst das einfach mal hier sehen, was da wirklich ist, weil wir ja bei uns vor Ort, klar, wir machen auch ein bisschen was und wir arbeiten denen ja auch zu, dass wir auch die Partikelfilter abdecken können und sowas, aber so die reine Magic, die passiert ja dann schon auch hier.
So there's one workshop missing, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, let's go.
Das haben wir ja auch noch gar nicht gesagt, ne? Das haben wir noch gar nicht gesagt, dass wir eigentlich ja schon vor 3 Jahren, 2,5 Jahren
Ach so, ja.
wollten, ne?
Wir hatten Flugtickets gebucht, das ist eine ganz krasse Geschichte. We had tickets to fly here 2.5 years ago.
Oh, and then COVID. That's right. We've been trying to get you guys here forever, and it's like every time we turned around, there was something else that kind of like
restriction, all that
got in the way.
Und Movo und ich hatten die Flugtickets und wir waren, ich glaube, wirklich eine der letzten, die dann diese Nachricht bekommen haben, dass du nicht ins Flugzeug einsteigen darfst. Wir hatten alles. Es war alles. Wir waren, glaube ich, 10 Tage, 11 Tage vor Abflug. Und dann konnte ich es auch nicht glauben. Fabian sagt so, nee, ist nicht. Ich so, nein, wir fahren zum Flughafen, das geht schon irgendwie. Nein. So lange ist es her, also echt scheiße. Mustang.
Yeah, so we have two side-by-side Mustangs here. These guys, this is where we do most of the work, I would say. So these things are running all day long. When there's a GT3 RS on them, you know, everybody's poking their head out of the building.
What's
you
going on
can't get
here?
any work done, but I enjoy that.
And that's also it's the same, you have to come to us too.
I want to, yeah.
No, really, because I think also when you come to us, it's a totally different idea how big and how the company is. Yeah. Right? I mean, see from the videos and the pictures, you can't compare it to how big it is.
Yeah.
So here are where you test all kind of
everything.
Or when we have sometimes situation where we need to change something on the file.
Yeah.
This happens here.
Yeah, we can do it here, and then we work with Luca and his team in Germany. Whenever we're doing something, we can do it remotely. It helps.
Also hier machen sie wirklich die ganzen Standardabstimmungen. Wenn irgendwas modifiziert werden muss, werden die hier Autos nochmal hier draufgestellt. Die haben ja alles an Autos, was du dir irgendwie vorstellst, ja da. Und dann wird die ganze Zeit nochmal modifiziert und weitergemacht. Also 5 Prüfstände hier im Haus, nochmal on top, ist auch eine Nummer. Okay.
All right, let's go over to the workshop.
Yeah.
There. I mean, this is our 992. This is a good example of all the different sensoring that we do. So we have all these tubes right here are probably EGT and so exhaust gas temperature and exhaust back pressure. And on the one side, we were doing it for every single cylinder. That way we could measure, like when we change the exhaust or the intake or the intercooler and the tuning, like is it changing anything through that log style manifold? And,
okay.
I mean, there's sensors all up in here basically. You know, all on the inlets. Everywhere. So this car, we converted it from an S down to the base model so we could do tuning on the base model turbos. And then the next step is we're going to go to a larger hybrid turbo on it. This is our Mark 7, our Mark 8, and this is our new intake system. So the intake system is an open lid design, so you'll get it as an open lid, and then you can get a PEX lid, you can get a carbon fiber lid, you can get a forged carbon fiber lid, and it's the whole system all the way back to the turbo. And as you can see, it's humongous. So like, you know, the normal tube there is about this big. Ours is boom. It's as big as we possibly could go in there. Then we'll have the matching engine covers.
Nice.
This is not the final engine cover. We have ones that have different colors on them.
Okay.
And then we're making a couple other designs.
And
this car,
this is only for sound, right?
It's sound and extra flow. So like if it's needed, it's there. But we also have a backing plate. So if you're like not into the sound, you can put it on there too.
Okay. And this is also all the sensors.
All the sensors in here. They try to make it nice and tidy and pretty, but it's necessary when we're tuning the car. So this car also has our intercooler on it. It has all of our new charge pipes, so like the turbo muffler delete, turbo outlet pipe, everything down from the intercooler up into the engine. We got a lot planned for this car.
Oh, this is forged carbon.
And there's another example of a different finish. So that's the forged carbon fiber. Yeah. Right now, there's our laser scanning tool.
Yeah.
We're making a turbo inlet pipe. So like say you don't want our intake and you just want a factory intake airbox, we're looking at things like that. So making the turbo inlet pipe, and that's our new scan tool, which uses this machine over here to kind of spatially, I guess, know where it is. This is we just upgraded this thing. It's much faster than the old equipment that we were using.
So
I
guess because
it's
the
pretty
sensors
awesome.
see the position in the room better.
Yeah, so I think
because all the reflection points that you have
so
on
you
it.
don't have to put like those little dots all over it, you know, like you normally do, and you don't have to spray it with that white powder.
That never goes off, really?
Yeah, exactly. It's never off.
So this is very interesting to me.
Yeah, we got the Taikan Turbo. We're trying to get into the ECU on that. Same thing with the ID4. That's where a lot of the stuff's going, so we got to get in there and see what we can.
So you are already on it or not?
No, we're working on it now. So it'll happen or it won't. We'll see. Once we're in there, then we'll know what we can do to the car. We also have an e-Golf on the way. I know that car's a little boring, but it's easy to get into that ECU, so we're going to get on that and see what we can do.
So when you're going on the Taikan,
yeah,
you goal is power or you goal is range?
Okay, so there's two things we can do then. So we're gonna, first off, you know how the Turbo S just basically has like different,
I have one.
Yeah, it has the different launch control. And so that's the first thing we want to unlock, is try to make that better on the base model or on the turbo model. And then the next thing is like, can we make more power without it overheating? So that's the next thing we want to do. And then the third thing is we want to look at range. Like, can we make a neutered mode that basically switch into when you want to, like, you know, get more range. I think there's a lot of stuff that we can do. We just don't know what we can do yet until we start really playing with it. But what we can do is we're doing some lowering links for the suspension. So we have these like really nice adjustable links and everything. And they have little tick marks on them, so you dial it in exactly the way you want it. Put it on. Other than that, I mean, the
That's
car's...
very, very interesting. So what do you think, it's always a difficult question, but
yeah,
the time frame on this?
It depends on so much, because right now the Mark 8 is taking up a lot of our time because we spent all that time getting into the ECU. Now doing all the tuning, all that kind of stuff is like, I know that's going to take up a lot of time, so I really can't say. If we do get into this, probably by, I mean, if I had to guess, if the guys were on it, it would probably take us like several months to just even get into the ECU. But also on these things, you can look at things like radiators and cooling and updating all that kind of stuff. So if you're making more power, you got to have more cooling for the batteries and more cooling for the inverters.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, totally different way of thinking, view what kind of cooler needs modification, or is there a lot of potential, rest potential anyway in the cooler that is installed in the car?
Right, right. There's just, I mean, there's a lot of unknowns. If more things are going to go this way, then we got to get ahead of it.
Absolutely.
Because I want to keep playing with cars.
Yeah, right. Very interesting. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very, very much for the walk around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely pleasure. Dir auch, Luca.
Ja, bitte.
Thank you.
No problem.
Also, dann sagen wir jetzt hier Tschüss, ciao. Und ab morgen geht's los und wir fahren alle möglichen Autos hier und zeigen euch mal erstmal, wie gut die gehen. Dann die BMW-Seite, die neuen. You have a nice thing to drive, I guess, right?
A few, just a couple.
That's a very good answer. And you also have some nice things to drive.
I hope so.
That is a very good answer.